By now my concealer should have, you know, stayed there enough. I'll just blend this out now with a fluffy brush. I don't want everything to go out. I just want it to sit there on my skin. So to give it a little bit more brightness, I don't need to blend so much because it's my skin color, my skin tone. So there's a little bit of brightness in there now if you're blending that. So I'll go over with the same foundation brush I used, but before I do that, I will spray my face again with my setting spray. Then I'll fan this for a while, just like maybe 10 seconds. Then I'll go over with my foundation, the brush I use to blend my foundation. I'll just blend everything together and make sure it is seamless before I go ahead to set everything and every portion. So if you're the type who likes to use blush, this will be the time for you to apply your blush. I like to use my cream blush before using the powder blush to set it usually. So for my cream blush, I use this paint pot from Wet n Wild, an angled brush, also an angled foundation brush or concealer brush to just tap. Let me put this other brushes down. I don't know, I like holding. So I just tap. This is red, and you need to know what your undertone is to get the perfect shade of blush to blend for you. And with the shape of my face, I would go between my cheekbones and the outer corner of my eyes, just tapping one step at a time gently. And I'll do the same here. I really don't like too much blush, but blush always changes the game, and you want to create this invisible C with the rest you have. Just take it up a little bit more. Okay, and don't be afraid to blend that. Blend. So you see the difference between when I didn't have this on. And don't be afraid to also take it under your eyes a little bit, just a little, to blend that. Okay, I'll go in with my foundation brush to further blend out these harsh lines that the blush must have created too. You see that? Blend everything seamlessly together. And even my eyelid area. So now is the time to set. For my setting powder, it's always best to use a compact powder to set first. I don't know, it's easier to use, easier to control, but loose powders tend to fly around a bit more. If you're new to this, I would advise you use a compact powder first to set, and then you can go in with a loose setting powder, whichever one is your shade or whichever one matches your undertone. But for me, banana powders work better for me. So sometimes I go in with the banana powder first, and then I go in with a translucent powder. Okay, the other two shades are translucent, but before I do that, I'll go in with my compact powder from this palette to use this shade. I have some banana powder in there. I'll use this shade to like set the highlighted portions of my face and basically like my whole face. Then I'll go in with this shade for my contour shade. As you can see, I've been using it for a while, and this is a blotting powder. Okay, it is labeled translucent here, but I use it for as a blotting powder. Okay, and that works for me. This is like my exact skin tone, and this one is really too dark. I'm not that dark. I don't use it even for contour, or probably I just use it for my eyeshadow depending on what I'm going for. So to set that, I'll use a loose brush. This is a powder brush. The bristles should be loose and rounded and fluffy. So after picking that, I hit it to take off the excess, and then I just like do that. Okay, I try to avoid my blush and contour a little bit. You know, there's no rule that states you cannot set them with your setting powder first, but I don't do too much because my skin is dry. I don't need to do too much. I just do minimal. And I'm naturally a minimalist makeup artist. I don't like to do too much. Sometimes too much ruins everything. I go in with a smaller brush to further pack that in the inner corners of my eyes. My nose. Okay. Then to set my contour, I go in with this angled brush. Okay. So basically all the contoured areas of my face. In my nose, I go with a fluffy blending brush. This is a Bobbi Brown brush. I've had this for a few years now. I think since when I started doing makeup that I got a brush set. I think I've had this. I got this separately. Yeah, and it's been doing the work. That is crisp and sculpted. So you see, everything is put together but yet looks together. Okay, for my blush, I like to use this peach shade. It's very flattering on me. I've used the red, so it's best I use a lighter shade. I either go in with peach or pink, a light or mild pink. So just, this is also a loose brush. Dust off the excess, and then I set this gently, gradually. You don't need to have the color you are looking for pop all at once. You just build up the coverage small, little by little. I just like it to barely be there, but let it be there. Okay,